Hello, and welcome to my Halloween 2015 Pepper's Ghost project. I'm starting with some still images because the effect just doesn't show up very well on video. The first image is grainy, but does a good job of showing the ghost's glow from the blacklight and the transparency, allowing you to see through the ghost to the background objects. The second image is the ghost without the background objects illuminated. The third image is from a different camera and is not quite as bright, but it does show a bit more of the detail for the ghost and the background scene. Here's the view from outside the house. The idea is that the trick-or-treaters can come up on the sidewalk towards getting their candy. They'll be able to look to the left and see into the bedroom window where the ghost is residing. Now the lower window there is blocked out by foam core, so you can't see into it, and the opening beneath the window shade is the only area where you can see in, blocking the frame of the glass that's at a 45-degree angle and just allowing you to see the ghost effect. So here's some video footage of the Pepper's ghost. As previously mentioned, it unfortunately doesn't show up very brightly due to the whole setup being under low light conditions. The effect did come off pretty well in person though with the naked eye. The still images do a somewhat better job of representing the final effect. It's difficult to see, but there's a small fan directed at the ghost to make the robes flow and provide a bit of motion. So here's the setup. It's a standard Pepper's ghost setup with a 45-degree angled piece of glass, in this case an acrylic sheet. I put the acrylic sheet into a wooden frame in order to keep it upright. The frame bumps up against the window to the outside of the house, and it's painted matte black with a triangle. It's sort of hard to see here, but a triangle set into it made out of foam core with some felt on top to help prevent the black lights from shining off the surface. The sheet of glass, acrylic glass I should say, was purchased at a hardware store locally. It's maybe 2.5 feet by 5 feet, long enough that the side of the frame is not visible when looking through the window from the outside. You can't see the glass at all. On the top side, I've just closed the window shade down to the top of the glass, and that seems to get the job done. The ghost itself was purchased online from a Halloween store. Is not ready to go for glowing under black light, so I bought some Rit Whitener. It's just powdered whitener. I got it at Walmart, I think. It's just a couple dollars. I mixed that into a spray bottle with some water, shake vigorously, and then sprayed it down and let it dry. That works pretty well to make it glow under black light. However, because of the size of it, I did have to use 2 different black lights to try to light it up. There's one on the top here, sort of covered by felt, and then another coming from underneath with a desk lamp. Both use compact fluorescent black lights. I originally wanted to use incandescent black lights so that I could apply a fader to make the ghost fade in and out, but the incandescent bulbs were not bright enough, so I had to switch to the compact fluorescents, which to my knowledge anyway cannot be used with a fader, so the ghost is just always on. If anyone knows of a solution to that, go ahead and leave it in the comments. That'd be great. The ghost is just hanging inside a box. It's a cardboard box, but it's lined with felt, again to prevent the light from getting out. It took some adjustments, but felt is also on this dowel here to prevent light from shining off of the window casing here, which is white. So it just took a little time to get that piece figured out. I have a fan, just a room fan, underneath the setup, blowing on low, and when that's on, that gave a sense of movement to the ghost. It just made the ghost's robes flow a bit. to give it that little bit of motion. This ghost actually has red lights, excuse me, that light up. Red eyes is what I meant to say, that light up, and the arms move around and it makes noise and so forth. But that's only motion activated, and when I had that on at the same time as the fan, the ghost would end up changing direction, kind of spinning around on itself, because the moving arms would sort of throw off the where the fan was hitting it, and it would start spinning. So anyway, I turned that piece off and just let it glow on its own. Maybe I can play with that for next year and fix it up. So that's sort of the gist of it. If you know about Pepper's ghost, it's just the reflection of the ghost shining into the acrylic at a 45-degree angle, thus allowing you to see it on the angled glass, even though the glass is hidden from the outside. And then because it's just reflected, you get to see through the ghost. You might be able to see right now sort of that effect. You can see the white table in the background. And so I'll move over here. And there is the white table. That is in the background just to show the effect so that you can see through the ghost into what's happening in the back. This is just a box with some gold coins in it. I've got a light underneath the top hat that shines on the gold coins, and then a skull just next to it, just to give something to look at through the ghost. So that's essentially the setup. Just a lot of tinkering in order to get it right so that from the outside you don't see the lights and you can focus on the effect at hand. Here's the final product again. Sorry for droning on a bit there in the last section. I just wanted to walk through it for anyone that was interested in learning more about the setup, so I went through that in detail. Anyway, I certainly had fun putting together this Pepper's ghost. We'll probably tinker with it again next year and mix it up a little bit. I hope you enjoyed walking through it with me as well, and thank you for watching.